One of the lessons, I'll just come and I'll start reading, and one kid will realize, oh my God, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. Yeah. And welcome back to The Angry Teacher. I'm Richard Williams, The Angry Teacher, and today we're looking at teacher read alouds. What is it and how we can use it? Hang around, we're gonna learn today. If it's your first time here, welcome to the fam. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can always know what's going on in the Angry Teacher world and the Angry Teacher family. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love you to death. You know this. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. I'm humble. What are teacher read alouds? Simply, exactly what it sounds like. What it indicates is that the teacher is reading aloud, either with or to the kids. That's what it is. Why is it important? Let's check it out. What does it do? Students can listen to someone else read on a higher level than they read. So they get to hear intonations, they get to hear the pronunciation of vocabulary words, or words that they're not familiar with. They get to see someone else do the reading of the correct reading of something that they're not too familiar with. So they get to hear and kind of mimic it when they have to do it. They also listen to others read that to help them develop skills. For example, especially in language arts, they get to figure out how stories are structured. Why does the teacher pause at this point? Why does the teacher get excited when there's dialogue with an exclamation mark, or dialogue in general? Why does the teacher change their voices? Why do all these things happen? This is what they're learning through the active teacher read aloud. Also, it inspires students. Where I work in the inner city, if you will, it inspires kids to see that a male, black male even, is reading out loud. He knows how to read and reads well to the students. They get to see the adults in their lives. Yes, it's a teacher, so it's a given that they know how to read and they want to read, but you get to see a different side to people that you're not used to. So teacher read alouds works well for especially the younger kids, because they expect to be read to, but when you read differently, or sometimes they would ask, Mr. Williams, you read it, because they know that the pronunciation is there. Some kids, they stutter. Some kids, they bumble over the words because they don't know it, so they mispronounce words, and so the meaning is lost on the rest of the kids. And some kids who are fluent readers, they look at me like, Pops, just handle this, because they're messing up the poem. They're messing up the story. And so, especially if there's a story that I like and I want them to really get that part, I'm just like, I'll take it over. I'll read the thing to you, because you need to hear the nuance. You need to hear the sarcasm in the character's voice. You need to see why everybody else looks at this character the way they do. So I'll do the reading, because right now you're not there. You might mess it up. So with that said, that's what teacher read alouds do. All right. I've got 2 tips at the end of the video. So you gotta watch through to get to that part. In the teacher's lounge, the Angry Teacher got subscribe and ring the notification bell for the next Angry Teacher Dope video, because it's coming every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all weekend long. You can watch and enjoy and learn from the videos. So check them out. Talk to us in the comments. Let's have a conversation too. Now, teacher read alouds work best when you pair it with teacher think alouds. 2 different things, obviously. One is when you're actually reading somebody else's words, and the think alouds are when you come up with things to propel the class, to have students think, to propel the discussion. And so when I'm reading, sometimes when I do that pause intermittently throughout the passage, I ham it up. I'm like, wow, did she just do that? Oh my gosh, she's really coming for that one. Or I'd be like, man, he never should have done it. Where it's gonna go, right? So I'm kind of hamming it up. I'm kind of getting them psyched up for the next part of it, so they want to stay focused. And while I'm reading as well, I'm walking around. So I'm moving. I'm paying attention. Johnny, stop it. Peter, behave yourself. Mary, wake up. So I'm doing all of that, and then I'm reading, and then I stop, and then I just ask probing questions. First of all, sometimes, I know the answer, or sometimes it's just to get them alive and to realize that, wait, what we're reading, it really is interesting. All I was seeing is words on a page, didn't know what it meant, but now when someone else is reading it, the teacher is reading it aloud to me, now it sounds like a story. Now I'm involved. So I ask probing questions. Questions I already know the answer to, obviously. I wonder if she's gonna die in the end. Who's gonna kill whom? Why the heck would she do that? Oh, looks like he's stealing from the store again. So whatever we're reading, ham it up. Ask questions while you're reading. And then kids would want to ask questions too, and they start discussing before we finish the story. I'm like, come on guys, we gotta get to the end. We gotta get to the end. And then it piques their interest. It piques their interest so that they would want to read. If there's another part, if there's another reading coming up, they want to read that too, because and I tell them, everything we read I've chosen for you. So it's done with precision. It's not just randomly, oh, I didn't plan today, let's just read this. It's been planned, so I know exactly what's supposed to happen. So they are looking forward to the next thing because they know that I've planned something for them, and we're gonna read something that I want to get into. So remember those 2 tips I promised you? They're here. Welcome to the Teacher's Lounge. All right, so read alouds, we've discussed it, teacher read alouds and teacher think alouds even. So here's the 2 tips that you can think about while you're planning your teacher read aloud for that lesson. And that's another thing. Don't think that teacher read alouds is only for the passages that you deem difficult for the students. I do a lot of reading of things I like, so they feel the excitement, and I tell them that I like it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the part, and so they get excited, and it piques their interest. So don't think and obviously sometimes if it's really difficult, I have to read it with them. I can't put them in groups yet because they won't understand what's going on, even though there might be that 1 or 2 kids who might know what's going on. It's not enough for the whole class, so I'll do the difficult readings, but for the most part, the things I read out loud with them, the things I love. In any case, that was just a freebie. That wasn't even a tip. But I got 3 tips for you then. In any case, number 2, make connections to life. So while you're reading it and you're walking around and you're reading out loud, I'm like, guys, can you imagine if your mom did this? Or wait a minute, remember that time when Sheila said that she tripped and she fell with her food in the cafeteria? That's what's gonna happen, right? You think? Or that reminds me of the moment when we started this year and we didn't know each other. So these are all things that you can put into place so they can make that connection. So they start thinking, and some of them might go too far with the thinking and forget that they're in class, and come on, come back. But they're gonna think, you know what, Uncle Albert did that same thing like this character, or yeah, I saw that roadkill, and it really wants me to get passionate about protecting or feral animals or strays. So ham it up, make sure that they can connect to it, because what we're reading is not just arbitrary passages from a book. Language arts and reading they've gotten killed with people saying stuff and school doesn't matter and all this stuff, but a lot of the stuff we read, I will dare say all the stuff we read, there's a connection there somewhere. People just need to find it. They just think that just because right now where you are, you don't need it, or it doesn't apply to you, but it does at some point down the line maybe, but it does apply. So make that connection for them, and make them make that connection for themselves. All right? Tip number 3, have students write. Once again, I'm a writing teacher. I'm an English teacher. Have students write. With that said, they have to, I have them sometimes mimic somebody's writing. If we've read O. Henry, or if we've read Edgar Allan Poe, I would have them, I might give them the topic, but for the most part, they can choose and they write some things like that. Excuse me. When we go over Shakespeare, yes, you have to write a sonnet and it has to follow the same rhyme scheme and all this good stuff. So they get to write like the greats, they get to write like somebody else, and then here's the clincher. Here's what I do sometimes, and it's on my syllabus. I drop it every now and then, I change it up every now and then. I read their works out loud. So the best ones, sometimes I'll have a competition, have them choose who's is better or whatever, or in groups, and have them, and then I'll take that one and I'll read it out to the rest of the class. Or they won't even know it's coming. After I've collected them and I've graded it, then I'll one of the lessons I'll just come and I'll start reading, and one kid will realize, oh my God, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. Or they might be like, oh God, who is this? Or you know, it sounds like one of us. Or I might put it up and then we read it, we rip it apart, just like we would do with a regular one of the greats, with the Shakespeare, with the Marlowe, with the Fitzgeralds, all of those out there. I would just ham up their writing and make them feel special, because writing is important to learning. And so those are the tips. Teacher read alouds are vital to the language arts classroom. Dare say you can use it in any classroom depending on what you're reading. So go ahead and try it out. Let me know in the comments down below what worked, what didn't, and what ideas you can come up with. Come to class today. As usual, just go out there and be great. Hey, let's just go out there and teach.